Totally makes sense. Let's go back to you a bit. I mean, obviously, you joined Pexip to sort of join a smaller company, more dynamic, more fast-paced, I guess. And now you're sitting there as the interim CEO after being the CFO. How's that journey been for you personally, and how does it feel to have the CEO role right now?
So I think it's been I think it proves the fact that you can't always plan your career. So being sort of able to take risk and to go for the experiences that you want to have, at least for me, has paid off. I think that's been true both when I joined Pexip, but also in taking on other roles previously in my career. And then it's really been about having joined Pexip, trying to provide more value, finding ways to be useful and helpful to my team, which has helped me then first to take on the CFO role back in 2019. And then now that with OS's departure, our former CEO, also then put me in the position to have the interim CEO role.
I read an article where you said that you think your strengths are that you're quite curious and you like to understand things, and also that you like to have your team to make quick decisions and let them experiment. Can you talk a bit about that philosophy you have and how you try to implement that in Pexip?
Yeah, and I think part of the success was really that that's a philosophy that was there in Pexip already. So I think one of our core values has been freedom and responsibility, which means really that even though we have a clear company strategy and a sort of common mountaintop that we all want to climb, the how to solve the concrete problems that people come across, they have a lot of freedom to find the best solution. That goes within engineering on sort of how to solve particular problems that they face, and it's also applicable to sales. So how they both structure an offering to the customer and how they can sort of take our fairly standardized product and fit it to fit the unique needs of the customer. They have a lot of individual freedom in doing so. And I think that's really important because if you want to scale, the world rarely sort of fits a one-size-all methodology, and so you really need a culture where people feel that they have the freedom and also are trained to find the good solutions to the problems they face.
If you look at that sort of the culture you're talking about now, how much do you feel it is about the culture versus the structures and frameworks you have implemented in the company?
I think without that sort of common culture and a common way of doing things, and also to some extent a training in how to face different problems and how to solve them, you won't get anywhere. So you can try to retrofit a structure of agile way of working as an example, but if the underlying culture isn't there, it will be very, very difficult. Then, of course, you need to have structures and frameworks that sort of reinforce that culture. So if you say that you want one type of behavior, but all of the formal decisions are taken in a very different way, obviously that will then you will not get the culture that you're saying that you're having. So I think they really need to be mutually reinforcing. But I think it's much easier to start with a solid culture and then sort of adapt structures and frameworks on top of that than to try and implement a structure which isn't really aligned with the underlying culture. Then I think you really need to address that piece first.